a beautiful thing. Most people think mac and cheese is a creamy, cheesy thing that comes out of a blue box. But long before that box, there was this. Layered, custardy, baked, more like a casserole. It's one of America's oldest and most iconic comfort foods, and I'm gonna show you the secrets how to make it. But you're gonna need to put a little soul into it. This is Southern style mac and cheese. Now, Southern mac and cheese is the cheesiest mac and cheese of them all. So for our cheese blend, I'm going with 5 cheeses, all with a purpose. First off, we've got 1 pound of a really amazing sharp cheddar, slightly aged for flavor and that yellow for its color. Then we got 1 pound of a low moisture mozzarella. This is predominantly going to give us that stretchiness we want. Then we've got Velveeta for a special type of creaminess that none of these other cheeses possess. And that's going to act as like our cheese base, and you can sort of veer from here. I'm going with 6 to 8 ounces of a Colby Jack, which is gonna bring a nice buttery tang, and then 6 to 8 ounces of a red wax Gouda for its creaminess and flavor. We're looking for about 2.5 to 3 pounds of cheese total, and you could even go up to 4 pounds. They get wild in the South. Now I just wanna cut them into pieces that are gonna fit into the food processor hopper. So just some strips. Cheese grater attachment on the food processor. You can obviously do this by hand, but it's gonna be a lot easier. Mozzarella tends to be the hardest, so I'm gonna start with that. See, kind of gets stuck. It'll go. Getting a little full, so I'm gonna transfer to a bowl. This also makes an amazing grilled cheese blend. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead, gonna add that other ½ pound and just keep this for grilled cheese. That cheddar is wild. We're gonna use about 4 to 5 cups of that. Tastes good to me. We're gonna set that off to the side. Then we're gonna make a quick little seasoning blend. We're gonna start with some mustard powder, about a teaspoon, tablespoon, it's all the same, something like that. Garlic powder, equal amount. Paprika, equal amount. Onion powder, equal amount. I also throw a little MSG in there. Why not, you know? Half the amount. Salt, equal amount. Now for the recipe, what I wanna do is season it. If you're gonna save some of this, I'd pull it out. But I'm gonna take some of that, season the cheese with it. Okay, so we got our seasoning, we got our cheeses. Now we make our custard base. And our water is almost up to a boil. Now some of the tricks, right? We're gonna use some cream, about 2 cups of cream, 3 eggs. The egg is different than the stovetop because it adds this like custardy, casserole-y sort of richer feel that is like part of that soulful comfort food. Then you often see sour cream added. Sour cream has got like a tanginess, an acidity. And I don't know if you know this about mac and cheese, it's fatty and rich. So that slight tang, that acidity is going to balance out, lighten up the whole thing. And then instead of milk, what we're gonna do is add to the heavy cream, 1 can of evaporated milk. Some use more heavy cream, some use more milk. Everybody's got their own little trick. This is sort of like a basis recipe. Now to the bowl, we're gonna go 3 eggs. What we want to do is start to beat up these eggs first so they can incorporate a little easier, or you could use a bigger bowl. And then we're going to add 2 cups of the cream while I whisk that in. Make sure it's nicely incorporated. And then the can of evaporated milk. Now the sour cream I'm going to add directly to the cooked pasta. Just want to season that with salt and a little bit of that seasoning. Now our water's boiling. One trick you sometimes see is the seasoning of the water. We're gonna add salt. We're also gonna add 2 packets of caldo de pollo, just to add like a little brothy element, to add a little bit more flavor. Whether you do this or not is up to you. Now let's head on over to the stove. Do the only thing we have to do really on top of the stove. While we're at it, we wanna preheat the oven to 375. So in with the seasoning, some salt. Now we're using cavatappi. It's like elbow macaroni, but it's better. It says 6 minutes to al dente. So we're gonna add in our pasta. Set a timer for 4 minutes and 15 seconds. That's gonna get it par cooked enough to be able to cook for 45 minutes in the oven and still come out al dente. Once it's par cooked, we're gonna get it out of the water, drain it, and throw it all together. I'm gonna add a couple knobs of butter right into the bowl, in with the pasta. 2/3 a cup of the sour cream. Some more of the butter, leave some to grease the pan. I'm gonna start to work the butter and the sour cream into the pasta. You can tell this, based on what we're doing, it's a clear departure from regional Italian pastas that we're used to, but this is classic Southern style, and it should be respected. So once that's nicely mixed in, almost looks like pasta salad, we're gonna hit with the seasoning directly to the pasta. We're gonna start to work in a whole bunch of that cheese. Not all of it, maybe like a third of it. This is when we're gonna start to add in some of that American. Just tear it up in there, get it mixed in. You know what we need left is about 2 layers of cheese as we're gonna start to layer this in the baking dish. For now, we just wanna get this mixed in. Sort of get the cheese coating all of that pasta. This is gonna sort of ensure like a nice creamy stretchiness flowing throughout once it's all cooked. I'm even gonna just add just a touch of this custard base just to get it nice and creamy. Just to wet it, not to soak it, not to make a sauce, but it's just gonna help like bind everything to itself. Now we've got our mix. Now we need our baking dish. First thing you wanna do is grease it. All up in the walls, all on the bottom and the corners. This is gonna help crisp everything up. Those crispy bits that bake along the bottom and the edge, it's a beautiful thing. Now we're gonna go ahead, add about half of the pasta. Just fill up the bottom in like a nice layer. Then we're gonna start to pour in some of the custard all the way around. Want it evenly distributed, about half. Just gonna sort of compress all that, make sure the base gets spread out, and then here we go with the first batch of a load of cheese. Create a nice base, a few more layers of the American. We're going hard. Then top it off with the rest of the noodles. And now you just kind of want to work it in there. Oh yeah. Now with the rest, again, make sure you get it in those corners, along the sides. Be careful, don't add too much at a time right now because it's full. It's kind of nice to just assemble it like this. And as it cooks, all of that moisture combined with the cheeses, turn this thing into something crazy. Now I'm gonna transfer this onto a sheet tray. And you see the moisture's coming up. I'm gonna add just a little bit more over here. That should be enough moisture. And then right on top, the final layer of cheese. I actually don't have any left over for grilled cheese. And you kind of really wanna cover all the noodles. Now you just wanna get it nice and compacted, and she's ready to go. Just for you to know, I have about a cup left of the liquid. I gave it all it needed to, made the decision not to add any more. If you need it, you've got it there to add. Depends on the platter you're serving it in, but I'm not adding any more. Now this is going into a 375-degree oven for 45 minutes. I'm gonna let it cook for about 25 minutes. I'm gonna give it a turn, finish it in the oven until the top is nice and golden. We're gonna let this rest for like 25, 30 minutes before we cut into this. Let it simmer down, and then it's gonna be perfect. But you see that crust? That's a beautiful thing. After a rest, let's see how we did. That's Southern style mac and cheese. You got a nice balanced flavor from all the cheese, that beautiful crust for texture. You hardly get the American cheese flavor, but you get that mouthfeel. And that sour cream, as that little twang in the background, balances out all that fat. And best of all, it's easy to make. Holidays are coming up, big Thanksgiving appetizer. You wanna make it? Links down in the description. That's all I have today. I'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourself. Go feed yourself.